What's up, everybody? It's your boy Rebel here, and for today's episode, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War is set to be announced sometime in June. And I guess the only question I have is, Blopsy dub? Bach dub? Just Cold War? Call of Duty Cold War? Black Ops Cold War? What are we going to be calling this thing? Serious question. Let's get into it.
On your feet, soldier! We are leaving!
So what's up? How's everybody doing? Hope we're all having a wonderful day. Sorry for the inconsistent uploads. I do have a child on the way due the 16th. Incredibly excited. Once all of that happens and I regain a normal sleeping pattern, expect normal uploads to resume. So today let's talk about Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, because that is set to be revealed sometime in June. I don't really want to go over the details that we know so far. More or less, I do want to go over what people have been saying about the game, what other YouTube creators have been saying, complaining about, or maybe saying things that I'm about to agree with. But first, I wanted to look at development time of the game, because that is something I've heard, that this game isn't going to have the 3 years that they've always had to develop a game, and that is just incorrect, because Sledgehammer would have started working on this game right when Call of Duty World War II came out. That would be when the main design team would start work on the new game. So there was a year that not Treyarch but Sledgehammer was working on this game. So they've got a year of progress done, and then that's when Treyarch kind of gets handed control. Maybe a year and a half. I think it was halfway through Black Ops life cycle. I could be wrong on that. It was announced that Sledgehammer wouldn't be the main developer to the game. They would still be working on it, and they have been working on it. And then Treyarch steps in and takes over the helm from there, giving them what at this point would be about a year and a half to be working on it. But that's 2.5 years that the game has been worked on, which means that it's basically the same amount of time, same amount of development time being put into the game that would have been put into any Call of Duty game on a 3-year life cycle. However, I will say that even if they don't have enough development time, and I think I might have said this in the Call of Duty Vietnam video, even if they don't have enough development time, that might be a good thing, because they can just make sure that the base game, the base meta is flushed out, get their feel for the game on it, and maybe not have enough time to work on something like one-hit specialists, you know, any specialists or mounting, the whole mounting mechanic and stuff like that. If Modern Warfare only had 2 years to be worked on, then they wouldn't have had enough time to try to do all the changes to the minimap and stuff like that. So maybe 2-year life cycle would be better. I mean, looking at history, when it went Modern Warfare, Black Ops, Modern Warfare, Black Ops, Modern Warfare, those games were really good, and they were only released on a 2-year life cycle. So I'm not sure why people are complaining that they're not going to have enough time. Doesn't really seem to make sense to me. Next thing I wanted to bring up is the campaign, and this is a reason why I think that this game might actually be pretty good. Treyarch, Black Ops Cold War. It's going to be a Black Ops game during the Cold War, and the Cold War is kind of long, so it can take over not just Vietnam, but maybe some Russian conflicts and other stuff like that. The Korean War, was that part of the Cold War? Cuban Missile Crisis, stuff like that. So a campaign like that by Treyarch, who can do a good campaign. I mean, 2 out of 3, I guess, because 4 didn't have a campaign. If it would have had a campaign, who knows what it would have been like. Would it have been the co-op campaign? Because if then they'd be 2 for 2. But Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 were amazing campaigns. So were the campaigns in Modern Warfare, and the campaign in Modern Warfare 2019 was actually a very good campaign. It's just the multiplayer I don't like at all. So with Black Ops 1 and 2 having amazing campaigns, and Call of Duty World War II, there are people that really like the campaign for COD World War II. I just didn't play it all the way through. I didn't beat it. I didn't feel the need to beat it. The multiplayer was so good that that's basically all I played. I mean, I played like 2 or 3 rounds of zombies and then like half of the campaign, and that's it. I never felt a need to beat it, because it wasn't that good. So if Sledgehammer had all that time to kind of build the setting and kind of build the levels and say this is where the story's gonna go, and then Treyarch comes in and says, well, we got to make it more of a Black Ops story, isn't that good? Aren't the Black Ops campaigns usually good, with excluding 3? But that was set in the future. This one won't be set in the future, maybe, but with flashbacks to the past. But that's what Black Ops 2 did, wasn't it? And that was still really good. So I don't know, I think the campaign can be pretty good, because that's what Treyarch's probably been working on. The multiplayer, they probably let Sledgehammer get their share of working on that. Then you don't really have to have too much Treyarchness in it, but then take lead from someone, an artistic designer at Treyarch to help design the levels in that Treyarch fashion. I feel like that would be really good. And I meant like the campaign maps, because next thing I'm going to be talking about is the multiplayer. And the multiplayer, whatever. I don't know, I feel like the multiplayer can be really good, because let's face it, Black Ops 1, really good. Black Ops 2, really good. I know this might get mixed opinions, mixed reactions, but Call of Duty World War 2, really good. Black Ops 3 was pretty good for the advanced movement games. Black Ops 4, I just didn't like the one-hit specialists. It really added this extra meta to the game that didn't need to be there with the whole Overwatch style system, and it's very strange. I did not like it, especially with the longer time to kill. The one-hit kills were just super cheap and cheesy, and I hated it. But besides that, I mean, like in bare bones, the game played well. It had a good base meta multiplayer, excluding specialists. And then COD World War 2 was really good, so I have no reason to believe that this multiplayer won't be something that I can actually enjoy, especially if it's not going to be futuristic. Maybe we won't get lethal specialists. If we could just have passive specialist abilities, like a small UAV encircle like that Recon had in Black Ops 4, stuff like that, I didn't really have too much of an issue with. But anything that can kill somebody, I tend to just be like, why? That should just be part of the class building system and not based on the character you select. Or even with the field upgrades in Modern Warfare, for example, those are fine. I mean, I hate that Dead Silence is a field upgrade, but besides that, the way they work with the munition box or the little wall thing, I mean, maybe the wall thing's a little annoying, but stuff like that I feel like is okay. It changes the game a little bit, but it's not like a goddamn grenade launcher. So I think the multiplayer will be fine. And what about zombies? I mean, isn't Black Ops like the main zombies team? And then Nazi zombies, I've heard, wasn't that bad. It was no Treyarch zombies, but it was zombies. And this game's totally gonna have zombies. So, I mean, why wouldn't it have zombies? Nom zombies? The Nom Zombies. So why did they not name it Black Ops Vietnam? Then it would be BOV, like 5, like a Roman numeral 5. Oh wait, never mind. That doesn't make sense, because Black Ops 4 wasn't an IV, it was just 4 numerals. I guess they could just change it, but anyway, we're getting Black Ops Cold War. But anyway, zombies, the Nom Zombies, that should be pretty cool also. And I don't know, when you look at the 3 building blocks of the game, the campaign, the multiplayer, and the zombies, I'm not entirely sure why I'm seeing so much speculation of the quality that this game is going to be. They have had a lot of time to work on it. If anything, the painting is going to be the painting of Treyarch. It's going to be the design style of Treyarch on the shell, but everything else should already have been worked on. And speaking of which, this game is going to have the same engine as COD Modern Warfare. And I know people are going to be like, eesh, it's going to be the same engine, but they always were the same engines until there was a big update to the engines, like with Modern Warfare 2019, for example. Big update to the engine. It's kind of like a whole new engine, so they say. Where was I going with this? Give me a second. All those little minute changes between Treyarch and Infinity Ward and Sledgehammer can be done on the same engine, because the engine is the base building blocks you have to work with. But there are many different variables that you can put into the same engine, such as sprint time, removing the tactical sprint, taking out the mounting mechanic, making the footstep volume normal, changing the footstep audio can be done in the same engine. Changing the ADS speed and time to kill of guns can be done in the same engine. Restoring the minimap to normal can be done in the same engine. Like I said, removing mounting, the mounting mechanic, you do not have to put that in a game just because the building blocks for it are in the engine. You can push those building blocks over to the side and refuse to use them. Same as the specialist. Sure, they'd have to add new, maybe new things for the specialist, but the building blocks to add them into the game are there in this engine. So just because the engine's the same doesn't mean the game is going to run the same, doesn't mean it's going to feel the same, because all of the variables in there are what change, and that is what changes a Call of Duty game from developer to developer. And I have no reason to think that this is going to feel like an Infinity Ward game, whether that be Infinite Warfare or Ghost, which I feel like is probably closer to what Modern Warfare feels like than it really did with like Modern Warfare 2 and 3. But regardless, I don't know. What do you guys think? Please let me know. Let me know, what do you guys think about COD Bach Dub or Blops C-Dub, like not Blopsy, but Blops CW, the CW. Are we just gonna call it the CW? Hey, I'll see you on the CW. And anyone listening is gonna be like, the TV station? What? So who knows about that? I certainly don't know what people are gonna be calling it, but I vote COD Bach Dub because that sounds stupid, but so does Black Ops Cold War, I feel like. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just being a little harsh on the name because I don't want to build my hopes up into thinking it's going to be a good Call of Duty like World War II and then just have everything shattered in front of me. But hopefully I'll be able to discern that for myself in about a couple weeks, because that should be when we're getting the reveal for Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. I'm pretty excited because I want to know whether or not I'm gonna build up my anticipation. Who knows? But from what I feel like it can end up being a pretty good game. But let me know down below, what do you think? Do you think the campaign's gonna be a hodgepodge of 2 different teams working on something that doesn't blend together? Do you think that Treyarch's gonna be able to rein the helm successfully and make a really good Treyarch campaign that mirrors that of Black Ops 1 and 2? How do you think the multiplayer is gonna be? Do you think it's gonna be worse than Modern Warfare 2019, if that's even possible? Let me know, please let me know down below. Always helps the channel out, helps more people see it, and then more people comment, and then everyone gets tired of me a little bit faster, I guess. Smash that like button, hit that sub button, gently click that notification bell if you would like all of that other wonderful good stuff. COD Bach Dub, and until next time.